Here we are. Welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to show you how to make the most out of using the Ghost on Gran Turismo 7. And this is 100% guaranteed to help you improve your fastest lap, whether it be a time trial or a daily race qualifying session. Now for those of you who don't use a Ghost or have never used a Ghost, it's a great opportunity to see where you're losing time and where you can gain time, the braking references and turning references too. So we'll cover all that in this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. So from the main menu, we're going to shoot off to sport mode. And from there, we're going to look at last week's daily races. So we're going to look at daily race C, where auto polish in the GR4 car. So from there, we can select the garage or you can rent your specified car. What I'm going to show you now, what I typically do. So you go to qualifying time trial, and it's the first thing that I do. I go onto global ranking and we have a look at the cars that are mainly used, which was the G70 at the start, but then everyone changed the Lambo, as you can see. But then everyone who has got this symbol on the right hand side, you can actually watch their replay. So any of these symbols you can see up or down, click on any of those. So we're going to look at Damien in P1, and this is typically the first thing that I do when looking to attack a time trial of any sort. So go into the replay and just have a look and get a feel for what these guys are doing. So make sure that we have all the racing details on. I'm just going to skip. And the thing we're looking for here is mainly braking points and turning references, and just seeing gear selections in the corners as well, which is pretty straightforward in the Lambo, to be honest. We'll look at the braking points. Come to this Lambo, quite oversteery, coming to these corners. So just having a look and seeing how he's getting on, how he's taking the corners, especially with this right hairpin as well. You can see, keep an eye on the throttle, see how early we can get on the throttle, and it's not even feeding it in, it's planting it in first gear, so we know, we get a bit of a rough idea of how to attack these corners. So this one, two trickiest corners, that left and this right, so you can use a lot of time. So you can see coming on second gear, hugging that apex in third, and then absolutely mounting the curb on the left. So we get a bit of a rough idea now of how to attack that lap. Now obviously you can look at that as many times as you want. We're going to show you some settings that I particularly use. So if you go into settings from this menu, just go all the way down to the bottom and you can go to Ghost settings. Now on here you've got a few options to choose from. You can display loaded Ghost, or you can put your personal Ghost on. So personally I always leave this off, as I'm always comparing myself against another time, not so much myself, and you've got time delta in time trial to look at as well. Reset Ghost position, always leave this on. Now all this does is just reset the Ghost after a sector. So if the Ghost ends up being half a second or a second in front, by the time you reach the next sector, it will go back to whatever you choose. And this is the offset time that you can choose. You've got 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, all the way up to 2. Personally, I either choose 0.2 or 0.3, but I do see a lot of people, and I'm not sure what the default setter, it might be 0.1, but I've obviously changed that now, so I can't remember. But I see a few people using 0.1 as a reference, and I'm going to show you the reason not to do that. If you click on to 0.1 and just show you, we'll start a time trial lap. Now for me, this is just too intrusive, and you can see the car there's only 0.1 in front, but you can't see anything. I mean, you can't barely see the corners, and if you've got a darker car, even though it's ghosted out, it's really difficult to see where you're braking. You can't see the brake lights till it's too late. Now that's obviously braking way too late there, and look how much time we've lost to that Ghost. Now this 100% is me driving. This was not done on purpose at all, but I couldn't see the braking point. But then it kind of puts you, well, it puts you off your stride going through this sector as well. So this is why I like to have the Ghost set at 0.2 or 0.3, and obviously reset after each sector as well. But yeah, that is, to me, is a bit too intrusive, and you can't really see where you're going. So when you're happy, go to your ranking board, go across the global ranking, and because we looked at Damien's lap, we're going to load that Ghost up, which you can do from this screen here. So we're going to use Damien's Ghost as a reference. So press start. Now this is set at 0.2, and you can see the difference straight away. Now we're just going to show you this lap in full. We're not going to slow it down for you at all. But you can see when the brake lights come on, we know where to brake. And you can see exactly where you're gaining or losing time, so we don't get the best exit out of that corner. Went in a little bit too deep, didn't carry enough corner speed. But it's a great example of seeing where you are losing time. where you need to make time up. You see, now we've mastered that braking in there, we can really stick on the back of this Ghost. There's a little bit round this left-hander, and we know where this right-hander you can really get on the throttle nice and early. So what we'll do there, we'll turn in and plant the throttle in first gear. Again, maybe a slight delay in getting on the power, but we know the corners that we are losing time. Now the exit out of the hairpin wasn't the best. You can see now we've got to run all the way up to the hill to this tight left hairpin. We're looking at those brake lights. There's another sector coming up, so the Ghost will reset. Which you see just there, so we're right on top of this Ghost. So I'd like to take a bit of a later apex into that corner. We're right on the back of the Ghost again. This section's very difficult to get right, so just before the 50 board we're hitting the brakes. Again, we're looking at the brake lights, and we're looking at the lines that the Ghost is taking as well, so very important to always keep an eye on that. And obviously this guy is the fastest driver in the world at the time of recording this, so we know that these lines are optimal. So whenever these are braking or whether they're turning, this is exactly what you're aiming to do, and this is where you can make so much time. I guarantee you follow a Ghost and it will 100% make you faster. Now depending on what level you're at does depend on what Ghost to choose, and I'm always pushing for a top 100 time, so I'll always choose the Ghost from the top 5 in the world. If that's out of your reach, then go for someone with a slightly slower time just to get a comparison and to help you improve. So there's a lap time there, actually put us P40 in the world, so that's what we're aiming for, but you can see how close these times are. I think the fastest being a 53.4 I believe, so yeah, just shy of 5/10 slower than the world record. But this is what we're aiming for in these sessions. But what I will say is, do not fall in the trap of following the Ghost lap after lap after lap and then going on to a daily race, for example, say. Time trials are not too bad. If you want to do this to win your 2 million credits, then go for it all day long. But if you're following the Ghost time after time after time and then go on to a daily race, this will definitely hamper you. As when you are following a Ghost, you are literally looking at that car and where he's turning, where he's braking, and it's almost like you're not really looking at the track yourself. So where you look at your brake markers, normally turning references, those kind of go out the window. So just be conscious of that. And be aware that the first time you turn that Ghost off in a race, you may be quite worried and start overshooting corners and kind of work out why you are so slow, because you've been so dependent on the Ghost that now isn't there as a reference. So what I would recommend is when you've done a few laps on the Ghost, turn the Ghost off and just be more conscious of your braking points and turning references and see how you go from there and apply that to your daily races. But for now guys, that's me done. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Laters.